Basically, a couple of years ago, I was struggling to find work after I left university. Surprise. And I specialize in film editing and retouching, which are incredibly difficult fields to break into. And after a number of dead-end jobs, I ended up getting offered a position at this place called Guns Blazing. And Guns Blazing is a porn studio. But they don't actually make the porn, they're more a porn reseller. And so what happens is we get the various sites to produce the content, and then we'll take the content and then apply our prices to it and resell it to our various members. And it's all very cheap, cheap and shit basically. And what I learned from that though is that there are different types of porn that make more money than other porn, and that there are various similarities between the film industry and the porn industry as a result of this. So how should I explain this? Porn. You have porn. No, you have basically this diverging market at the moment. So you've got high-end porn, which is made by your large production companies like Digital Desires. They make your $1 million budget porns. Like your Pirates XXX, Pirates 2. I see some people nodding here. Top Gun. No, not Top Gun. Fly Girls. Top Gun is air porn. Fly Girls. And these are actually genuinely really amusing and entertaining pieces of pornography. And they have excellent production values. You have depth of field now. You can choose what you're focusing on. And there's actually some level of editing, but whether that's more effective or not is left up to question. And so on the other side you have the super amateur gonzo porn. And there's even websites saying we're amateur, Amateur Allure, where it's basically a man with a camera, a ring light mini light panel thing, shooting down to a woman's face as she fillets him and he films it. And it costs no money to make these things. And so it's causing a sort of problem in the market that you're starting to see in films today. So the problem is there's too much shit being made too cheaply. You have a lot of people all making a lot of straight porn because it's easy to make cheap straight porn. And you have a lot of people making incredibly cheap indie films that are incredibly crap. And on the other side you have the big porns, the ones made by Brazzers and Digital Desires, as I said, and they're your tentpole films, basically. What? Oh, wow, that's tentpole. And basically, this is causing a major issue for anyone who's trying to make porn and make money in it. Because unlike piracy in film, where piracy, word of mouth, you tell someone that you watch this film, they download, and they're like, yeah, it's fucking awesome, yeah, let's go buy that. And you don't really get that with porn because no one buys porn anymore. Anyone here bought porn? Anyone here watched porn? Exactly. Everyone's lies. And so basically you have a major issue surrounding how are you going to make money? And what's happening now is a shift towards less straight sites and larger Walmart type pornography stores, your Brazzers where you get 30 different websites all for one, and the super amateur that's going in strange directions. And by strange directions I mean gunge. And gunge is a type of pornography where naked people get covered in dirt and shaving cream, and people find that sexually arousing. And basically this is a common thread for a lot of porn makers, where they're not making straight porn anymore, and they're only making strange niche porn. And to give you an example of what I did in my work, we had a small section, say 30% was made up of straight sites. So you had your black dicks, white chicks, nurse seductions, secretary seductions, all those fantasy fulfilling ones. But then you got your strange stuff, which surprisingly seems to be in more of the gay area, because in the straight you only have weird niches more relating to race, Black It On Up, which is just lots of black people having sex, or actually as a gay example, tribal twinks, where you have slightly browned men in the forest being naked. That's a thing. Yeah, I was surprised. But like on the strange niche end, you have boy napped, and boy napped is basically where you get. Does everyone know what a twink is? No. Well, he knows. A twink is basically a young, slightly effeminate gay man under the age of 23. Like if I were gay, I'd be a twink, basically. And what happens in boy napped is they'll wrap a twink up in like glad wrap, except for his penis, and just like play with his penis. And you're meant to get off of that. Or you'll have boys tied up in rope, and they'll pour hot wax on their bodies, apply pegs to them. I don't know how that's painful, but apparently like people are attracted to that. And so like you'll notice that there's no money to be made in straight pornography. And this is a big issue because if no one is making straight pornography, how are you going to watch your straight pornography? You aren't. And so basically, as a result of this shift, like the only way anyone could attribute this shift to any sort of technological movement is basically digital video. Like digital video is the reason why porn is going to get shittier over time. That thing right there. Like that's ruining it. Because digital video, like David Fincher, when he does a shot in a big film, he does like 80 takes. Because he can afford to do that, because it's digital. While with porn, you can make, you know, like, if each scene is 20 minutes long, you shoot for about an hour and you cut out the shit that's shit. You know, you can make, in a 6-hour day, 6 different scenes, an entire film. And that's just flooding the market utterly and completely. And so basically my like major recommendation to everyone is just buy your porn. It's not that hard. It's like $30 a month and you can download it. You can like save it onto your computer. Like they no longer have digital rights management on pornography. These are things you can keep forever. Honestly, people. Alright, let's see where I am. That's pretty much it, basically. Like, that's not much of porn. Short and sweet, like I said. Brief but satisfying.
That was actually the synopsis for that talk as well.